So yeah, one thing that you should definitely be proud of. I don't know if you are, but are the cliffhangers that you kind of give us every single book. I mean, proud of, but I'm sure many people call them great or cruel. I mean, some people get angry with them, but yeah, I love
Right.
them as much as I hate you for them at the time. I can respect
Sure.
every single one that you've done. So so do you think of these cliffhangers kind of first, and then design the book around that kind of cliffhanger, and then kind of that really cruel ending?
The strange thing is I don't because of how of how I conceive of the book, like because I conceive of the book as sorry, of the series as sort of it's a single story with high points, high points of action. So you got 5 high points of action, or a certain number, maybe 10 crises throughout the series. And so for me, it's like, okay, there's this big crisis at the end of the book. And then what I do is I give you a peek at the next one. Like this fantastic. We won World War II, but we had to, join up with the Russians to do that, and that's not going to end well. Like okay, we like what basically I do is what I try to do. It's people call it a cliffhanger. I don't really like that term because cliffhanger can refer to a couple of different things. Like a true cliffhanger, and I've actually read some of these. Is I want to be specific, but I don't want to torch anybody. Is when the character is literally hanging off the edge of a cliff, like fights the bad guy and then gets knocked off the edge of a cliff, and the book ends. And that kind of cliffhanger infuriates me because you set up the book that like, oh, it's about what's going to happen when they defeat the bad guy, and then that is the question of the book, and the book doesn't answer that question. That's not a full book. That I try not to write. What I try to write is the question is not whether we're going to defeat the bad guy. The question is of this book, because it's a series, is will this city stand or fall? And by the end of the book, that question needs to be answered. The city actually fell, and well, that sucks. And that's the fall of that city is going to set up what happens next. And what I like to do is I do a teaser for that next conflict. It's like, so I'm setting up, boom, like, okay, you finish that conflict, the city fell, and now our hero Joe is in huge trouble. So that there's a difference there. Like one fulfills a story promise and then makes you really curious about the next story, and one doesn't cash the check and says, if you want to cash that check, you're going to have to pay me another $20 or whatever your book costs. And those feel pretty different to me. And it's, in a fantasy series, like if they're going to be tightly interconnected like mine are, it is going to be, you can't answer the final questions at the end of book 3, or like, why are you writing book 4 and 5? So I understand readers getting irritated because they're like, oh, I want to keep going, but I don't want them to feel cheated, I guess is the trick. So yeah, but yes, I do that very much on purpose. And it's like, hey, buy my next book. I mean, I want to make a living, right? So, and plus I find it's really fun. It's fun to torture readers a little bit. So, so that's my cliffhanger, philosophy, I guess you could say.
Cool.
Well, wait. So did you think this book had a cliffhanger? Have you finished?
No, I haven't finished this one yet.
Oh, you haven't finished yet. You're into it though, aren't you?
I'm well into it. Yeah. Okay. That's why I'm a bit nervous about giving too much away, or for you giving too much away.